Welcome to Silent Screams, Loud Strength, the podcast where we turn pain into power, silence into strength, and healing into a journey of self-discovery. I'm your host, Samantha Avril-Andreassen, and today we are starting this topic that holds many people back from living truly. The fear of being seen. Have you ever felt like you were playing small, like you were hiding your true self because stepping into your power felt overwhelming? Well, I have. Many survivors of trauma develop a fear of visibility, not because they lack the potential, but because they have conditioned to stay quiet, avoid conflict, or fear of judgment. In this episode, we're going to explore why we fear being seen, the roots of self-doubt and playing small, how trauma conditions us to hide, understanding the link between survival mode and invisibility, releasing the power of judgment, overcoming imposter syndrome and fear of criticism, owning your voice, and how to reclaim your space unapologetically. Practical steps to step into your power, breaking free from self-imposed limitations, and how to deal with negative reactions and managing criticism and maintaining confidence. I will also share some insights from my own personal journey on how to free your self-doubt and stepping into your power. You deserve to take space. You deserve to be seen. And most importantly, embrace your full potential. So I went through a period in my recovery where I would spend maybe 2 weeks without even leaving my home. I would spend maybe a full month without speaking to anybody but my doctor, if I could even have the strength to speak to them. I wouldn't open my door. The doorbell made me jump. I didn't want to talk to anyone external. I spent 2 years without even speaking to my own family because I had just fear that just held me down. But I had to do something because it wasn't normal to feel so trapped, and even my own skin was crawling. Things became a little bit too much, really, and I had to do something about it. So I started to release the fear of judgment and to own my voice and my presence. I started small. But why do we fear being seen? The fear of being seen is deeply rooted in past experiences, societal conditioning, and trauma responses. When we have experienced judgment, rejection, or control, we unconsciously shrink ourselves to stay safe. It is a survival mode. So common reasons people fear stepping into their power is fear of judgment. What will people think? Fear of rejection. What if I stepped up? They don't expect me to be anything. Fear of failure. What if I'm not good enough? Fear of success. What if I become more than I ever imagined? Conditioning to stay small. If you were taught to be quiet, humble, or not take up too much space, this can shape your confidence. Fear of confrontation, expressing yourself, might have led to arguments or punishment in the past when you were a child, or making you feel unsafe. People pleasing, that is just not something that we, as a survivor, it's something that just beholds you down. So being seen often means standing up for yourself, which can be really uncomfortable to those who used to prioritize others over their own needs. So those people-pleasing instincts, they are really like a holden onto ourselves. So how trauma conditions us to hide. When we experience trauma, our nervous system listens to protect us in ways that can keep us stuck. For many, this means, blending into the background and avoiding confrontation and suppressing our emotions, our feelings to keep the peace. So common trauma-based responses can lead into hiding, which was what I was doing in my case, really. People-pleasing, seeking approval instead of expressing your true self and your true needs. Hyper-independence, avoiding people or visibility out of fear of vulnerability. Self-sabotage, you downplay your talents, avoiding leadership or fear of success. Dimming your light, holding back on options, on creativity or personal expression. Frowning responses, a survival instinct where you over-accommodate others, to avoid conflict. The first steps in overcoming this fear is recognizing that you are safe to be seen, and it's okay to be seen. The past no longer controls you, and you have the right to be heard, and you have the right to be seen. So how do we overcome the judgment of imposter syndrome? What is imposter syndrome? The fear of what others think is one of the biggest barriers to stepping into your power. But what if their opinion wasn't your problem? The truth is, people will always have opinions, always, good or bad. But you are not responsible for their perception of you. Your mindset needs to shift. Instead of fearing criticism, ask, what if I inspire someone by showing up fully? I'm showing up now, and I'm showing up for you today. And I am stepping into my power and overcoming the fear of judgment and imposter. Because now I know I am capable. My perception has shifted now. The loudest critics are often those who are too afraid to step into their own power. That is a fact. So don't let their fear dim your light. I am speaking to you right now, and I am testament to it. If I can do it, and if I can overcome it, you can too. This is a safe space for you to feel empowered by someone who has gone through it. You might not see me, you might not know me, but you can hear me. Own your voice. Reclaim your space. Confidence isn't about being fearless. It's about acting despite the fear. So here is how you can start stepping into your power. Speak up, even when it feels uncomfortable. Start with small moments of self-expression. Stop shrinking yourself. Notice when you're holding back and challenge it with compassion. Embody the energy of someone who is unapologetically themselves. Who do you admire? How do they carry themselves? Emulate that. Visualize the future version of you, the version of you that is thriving. So what does that version of you look like? Surround yourself with people who support your growth. Seek communities that uplift you, encourage you authentically. So start small. Choose one area of your life where you've been hiding and take a step forward. Practice self-affirmations such as, I am enough, I deserve to be seen, I can do this. Take up physical space and energetically take up physical space. Sit upright, make eye contact, own your presence. When you walk up straight, chest proud, shoulders back. Challenge those negative thoughts. When you catch yourself doubting yourself, catch it. Is this true or is this fear talking? You need to distinguish between the two. And if it's fear talking, challenge it. Accept that some people will not like you. That is just the true nature of life. And that's okay. Your worth is not dependent on their approval. Your worth is dependent on what makes you happy. Take these small practical steps and celebrate each win. So you start small. So this week, I am going to challenge you to identify one way where you've been playing small, whether it's in a relationship, at work, or just self-expression. Take one bold action towards stepping into your power. It could be speaking up. It could be sharing at work in a meeting. It could be just setting up boundaries. Journal. What is one fear holding you back to be seen? How can I challenge it? Journal it. Write it down. You deserve to take up space. You deserve to take up energy. You deserve to be heard. This is your time to step into your power. Share this conversation with someone that needs to hear it. Let's keep this conversation going. Thank you for listening to me. I encourage you to be seen. I encourage you to be heard. I encourage you to take up space. Come back and listen to it again. Feel empowered, energized, and know that you are not alone. And know that every little step towards taking your power back and being seen and speaking your truth is one step closer of being your authentic self. Until next time,